The Moroccan-Dutch criminal, Ridouan Taghi, managed to evade the police for years. Ridouan Taghi, also known as the Little, is one of the most notorious criminals in the Netherlands. He was the head of a large criminal network involved in drug trafficking, extortion, and assassinations.
But who is this man?
In this video, I will tell you everything about the bizarre life of Ridouan Taghi. But before I do that, I want to ask you to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any videos.
Taghi was born in Morocco but grew up in Vianen, a city in the Dutch province of Utrecht.
At the age of 3, he moved to the Netherlands with his parents, older brother, and 2 sisters.
Later, 6 girls and a boy were born.
At the beginning of the 1990s, he joined the youth gang Bad Boys and dropped out of high school. In 1992, he was first convicted for, among other things, burglaries and weapon possession. Initially, he was mainly involved in smuggling hashish, but later he switched to smuggling cocaine. From the year 2000, he stayed out of trouble with the law for a long time. He ran a grill room in Utrecht for a while. Everyone thought he had turned his life around and was on the right path, but nothing could be further from the truth. Despite previous convictions, Taghi managed to stay off the police radar for a long time. However, the Spanish police had identified him for the assassination of Mohammed Abdullawi in 2013, and he was known to be a major cocaine dealer. In addition, from 2013 onwards, the criminal intelligence team of the police received reports about Taghi. In the investigation called 26 Koper, 2 witnesses made incriminating statements about Taghi and his right-hand man, said Ridouan, also known as the Bald One. These were the first witnesses to link them to murders that had been committed and murders that were yet to be committed. Based on the statements made by Crown witness Nabil B. and from PGP messages, it became clear that there was high pressure to murder these witnesses.
On June 22, 2016, one of the witnesses, Ranko Sikik, was lured out of his home in Utrecht and shot.
The murder was committed in front of his own home, where he lived with his wife and 4 young children.
That evening ended the lives of this family. The 2 perpetrators, fully dressed in dark clothing with balaclavas, fled on a scooter.
The Crown witness, Nabil B., told the police that he was involved in the murder of Ranko. He had observed the victim's home several times and had arranged a safe house for the perpetrators along with Taghi's right-hand man, Saeed Ridouan. Together they tested the weapons that were intended for the murder. After the murder, he broke down the used weapons and threw them into the water. Nabil B. claims that Taghi ordered the murders of the 26 Koper witnesses. In 3 cases, the preparations were made, but only Ranko Sikik was actually killed. Taghi considered the witnesses to be traitors who posed a danger to him and his organization.
He was trying to locate their whereabouts and arranged weapons, ammunition, and cars for the murders.
In April 2015, criminal Nufel Fassi was arrested in Dublin. He, along with Richard R. and Ridouan Taghi, formed a trio, in which Nufel was referred to as the Hitman. For Ridouan, the arrest was a reason to order the assassination of prosecutor Koos Pluij, who was responsible for the prosecution of Nufel and had also initiated an investigation into Taghi's criminal organization.
Fortunately, they did not carry out this assassination, as Richard disagreed with it. In September 2015, Ronald Bakker was murdered. The spy shop employee was suspected of providing information about the group to the police. Then, in May 2016, Abderrahim Belhaj was murdered. According to the Public Prosecution Service, Taghi had ordered his assassination because Belhaj had allegedly stolen 2 blocks of cocaine. In 2016, according to the Public Prosecution Service, Taghi ordered the assassination of criminal Samir Aragib. This took place in June 2016. Aragib had reportedly spoken about Taghi. According to the Public Prosecution Service, Taghi and Ridouan were searching for Buju because of his incriminating statements. When Buju was difficult to find, they turned their attention to Ranko Sikik, a friend of Buju. On June 22, 2016, Sikik was murdered, just a few days before he was scheduled to testify in the 26 Koper case. In June 2016, former criminal and crime blogger Martin Koch
published on his website Vlinderskrim about two henchmen of Taghi. In July 2016, an attempt was made to assassinate Koch by placing a bomb under the car he was driving, but it was discovered in time. On September 12 of that same year, he wrote about Ridouan, Richard, and Nufel on his website. That same evening, he was assassinated after all. In January 2017, an attempt was made to assassinate Khalid H. Instead, his roommate Hakim Shangachi was murdered. 2 days after the assassination, they tried again to assassinate Khalid H., but he escaped again. During the first assassination, in which Shangachi was killed, future key witness Nabil B. was involved. Nabil B. was friends with Shangachi's family and therefore got caught up between the family and Taghi's group. Nabil B. decided to turn to the authorities and become a key witness. In July 2019, a trial started against 17 suspects with Taghi as the main defendant. Taghi and his organization are suspected of trading in cocaine and being responsible for a series of murders and attempted murders. Ridouan had been on the run from justice for years until he was arrested in Dubai in December 2019. He had been considered one of the most wanted criminals in the Netherlands and one of the most feared Moroccan-Dutch crime bosses in Europe. According to the police, Taghi had a fake identity card with him and was living in an abandoned villa in Dubai. The lawyer representing Taghi in this trial was Inez Weski. Eventually, Taghi was sentenced to life imprisonment. During the trial, 3 people connected to the key witness, Nabil B., were assassinated. Nabil's brother was killed on March 29, 2019, after 2 failed attempts the day before. The murder took place 6 days after it became known that Nabil B. was the key witness. On September 18, 2019, Dirk Weersum, the lawyer of the key witness, was also assassinated. Crime reporter Peter Arg de Vries, who served as a confidant to the key witness, was assassinated in Amsterdam on July 6, 2021. Already in 2019, the Public Prosecution Service had reported that Peter was on Taghi's hit list, but Ridouan always denied this. Ridouan Taghi was not happy with his stay in the most heavily guarded prison in the Netherlands. He indicated that he finds life in prison inhumanly difficult. In addition to his lawyer, Inez Weski, and 2 other lawyers, Taghi also had a cousin, Youssef, as a media lawyer. In February 2021, an investigation was launched into Taghi's possibilities of communicating with the outside world. Ultimately, permission was granted to eavesdrop on conversations between Ridouan and Youssef. It turned out that Youssef was the link in communication between Taghi and the outside world. It also emerged that Taghi, with the help of Youssef, was working on escape attempts. Youssef was arrested for this on December 8, 2021, and received a prison sentence of 5.5 years. Taghi was hiding in Dubai until 2019, but where would you hide if you were a top criminal on the run? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Dunk that subscribe button and click the bell so you don't miss any videos.